Howdy, Buffalo Bart here, and welcome to video 4. Alright, what to do. And what we've already got, and I've gone ahead and made some adjustments to the rate at which the hunger and thirst both go down. They're currently set both at the same. Every 30 seconds is going to take 2 away, and the more you get involved in the game itself, the more you're going to want to make adjustments to it. Make things where if you're sprinting, then your thirst goes down faster, then your hunger will increase to go down faster. Things like that. You can make adjustments to it here and there, but as you can see, they both went down at the same amount, and those are things we'll adjust a little bit here and there. Plus, we got the health goes down when we step on that pain trigger. Um, it's rather boring. It doesn't have anything to it. We don't have any effects. We don't have any starter content mixed in. This is just a very, very mild, simple build with nothing in it. So, without getting too complicated with things, the next thing I would like to do is I want to go ahead and create a main menu system. Why not? We want to, when we first come into our game, we want to load up and we want to see that, hey, we got a menu. We can play single player, and then we are going to have multiplayer as well. And that is going to be a lot of fun getting all configured and set up. But we're not going to build this game so we can play with ourselves by ourselves. We're going to make this so we can play with our friends. Right? Okay, lovely. Anyway, so we're going to need that main menu. And, God, where do we start on that? I would say probably the best way to go is create a widget. And let's go ahead and create user interface widget blueprint. And we're going to call this main menu underscore W. We're going to be using a lot of underscore things on here so we know what we're doing and what we're looking at. So now we have this main menu. There's nothing there. There's no functionality. And since we're operating in 1080p, which most people are, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an image and I'm going to drag it into the main window here. And, well, we want to anchor this to this bottom right hand one, which is full screen. And we need to grab this image and we need to change the offsets to 0 and 0, and then 0 and 0, and it's really bright and really in your face. So what we want to do is go ahead and bring our color and opacity. Let's go ahead and bring that down to just a black for now. So now we have a black background, and we're going to set the Z order to -5. We want it to be the lowest possible thing. Everything else we put in here will then be in a higher Z order, which you'll see as we go. It'll be on top of this. And from there, we have our base. Now we need to have some kind of functionality to it. And let's start off with a button. Well, we're going to want to add functionality later on, but let's start simple, and we'll start with just a button. And for now, we're going to go ahead and anchor this to the upper right, which it already is. And we want to add some text to our button. And let's go ahead and rename our button to single player, but let's go ahead and actually make it so we know what it is. SP underscore button. And our text, we're going to go ahead and call this our SP button text, so we know what it is. Not that that's important, but let's stay organized. And inside our text block, let's go ahead and call this single player. And now you see it's kind of sticking out there. So we need to make it to where it fits the button. So I'm going to select the button here, and I'm going to increase the size since I want to be uniform on a lot of things, let's make the button 250 by 40. Seems fine. We're going to worry about the position here shortly. And alignment, we're not worried about that just yet. Style, this is something you can play around with. We'll worry about styling it later, where whenever you mouse over it, it'll change a little bit and that kind of stuff. But for now, we just have this big single player button sitting on the top of the screen, and there's no functionality to it. So when we click, we want to do an on-clicked event, and it's going to create this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of these other pins right here. We don't need anything else for right now. We just want the on-clicked. We want the single player button to open level, and we need to find the name of our only one map here. And best way I can say, if you want to make sure you've got it typed correctly, you can click on it a couple times to get it to the show, and then you can Control C, or you can hit F2, whatever, or just you need to get the name exactly the way it appears there. And we're going to call this test map. That's where our only level is. And in our options, we're going to go ahead and put in listen. It's not important yet, but it will be. So that's fine. Compile and save, and our main menu widget is not going to be functional yet because we haven't told it to be functional yet. We need a new map. So I am going to create a new map, empty level, and first thing I'm going to do is save it, and we're going to call this main menu map. So this main menu map is going to be our start location. However, we need to create a new game mode. So I'm going to go into our game mode folder. I'm going to right click. I am going to create a blueprint class, and we want a game mode. We're going to call this main menu underscore GM. We're going to go into it. Now, our main menu game mode, what we want to look at here is, sorry, again, doing multiple things at once. We want to leave all these the same except for default pawn is none. So we're going to go ahead and hit compile and save, and we'll close that one out. Now, if we look at our world settings, game mode override needs to be main menu game mode. Make sure that there's no default pawn class. We don't want a player. We don't need a player. We want this to be a menu. Okay, so how do we get this to start when we hit the magical play button here? Well, first I'm going to go ahead and select Edit, Project Settings, and we're going to go back in here again, and in Maps and Modes, we're going to change it. The default game mode is going to be main menu game mode. The editor startup map is going to be main menu map. Game default map, main menu map. Save those. I'm going to go ahead and save all. And again, you'll have to pardon me because I am doing multiple things at one time here. I am compiling a video and uploading a video, and yeah. So what we're essentially wanting to try to do here is we want to make it so when we first load into the game, it defaults to our main menu. And I guess we can add some functionality into as well. We need to add an exit button as well. So we need to go back into our widget and look at our main menu widget here. And what we can do here is we can grab our button and Control C, and then come back in here and Control V and add that new button in. And let's go ahead and move it to right here. Again, these are going to be fixed later when we start doing some actual styling. We're going to call this our exit button, and we want to change our text in there to our exit button underscore text. We want to say exit game. And for the functionality of it, unclicked. No, we want to do that yet. We don't want to set our exit button. Quit game. Having senior moments today, bear with me. So what's going to happen now is if we click on this one, it's going to exit, and if we click on this one, it's going to load us into our map. So compile and save. And again, multitasking. Just finished uploading episode 1 and uploading episode 2 right now. Creating a game, episode 2. And we'll come back in and finish doing all these other lovely things as we go. But I want to get these things uploaded and rocking and rolling. So now to get things going here, we need to do a quick test. And if we do play now, there's nothing. So we need to get some functionality. We need to get that widget rolling. So to get that widget going when we're in here into this main menu map, then we're going to need to have something happen. So how are we going to make that work? How are we going to make that widget pop up? And how are we going to force it into going into there? Well, we don't have a player, so there's no event begin play on the player itself. So how are we going to make it work? Main menu game mode. Well, if we go into our main menu game mode, all that is just that. We go into the full editor, and we have an event begin play. And let's get rid of the event tick. And in that, let's see if we can do that. We'll create a widget. And we want it to be the main menu widget. And we want to get the player controller because we want the player to be able to see it. We want to add to viewport. And we want to make sure we have a mouse cursor. Set input to UI only, and then the widget to focus on is going to be our main menu widget, and our target is going to be our player controller. And then we want to go ahead and set show mouse cursor, and we want to make that to be true because we want a mouse cursor so we can select on our buttons. And let's compile and save and close, and let's see what happens when we hit play now. There we go. We have a mouse cursor, and we can exit game, or we can click single player, and what does it do? It don't do nothing. So let's find out why that happened. So let's look at our widget again. And our graph. When we click the single player button, it opens a level. And that should work just fine. You're always going to encounter little issues here and there, but that's the thing, is we want our single player button to, when we click it, to open the level and go right into that. And let's actually go into our map again. Let's make sure test map has our world settings correct, and it does not. So we want to go back to third person game mode, player_base, and we want to save all. Make sure everything's there. Save current. Now let's go back into our main menu map, check our world settings again. It's on main menu game mode. So let's see what happens when we hit play and single player, and there we go. But we have a mouse cursor here, and we can't control our character because we don't have anything there. So I guess we need to fix that as well. And we have no way of having an escape mode to get out of the game whenever we actually get to that point. So we can go back into our test map for now, and there's a couple ways we can go about this. We can look at our game modes. On third person game mode, open full blueprint editor. So we see we got all our stuff is still over here and working just fine. And then on event begin play, let's go ahead and set input to game only. Let's go ahead and get our player controller. Get player controller. And then we want to set show mouse cursor to false so we can turn off the mouse cursor. Let's compile and save. I'm going to bring this up here. And let's actually go back to our main menu map. Set play, single player, and there we go. We have full control of everything, no mouse cursor, and we're good. So it is a really, really simple main menu. There's not much there. There's a lot of things you can do to spruce this up, and what I'd like to do in the next video is let's go ahead and start making this look a little nicer. Maybe add a few buttons, that we can have functionality to it later, or we can just make what we got work. We know that we want to go in single player. We know we want an exit game button, but we're also going to need an exit game button while we're inside. I think the next video, what we're going to do is create an escape menu so that when we're in the game playing, we can hit escape, come up with a little mini menu that will allow us to either resume the game or to exit back to the main menu. Alright, so let's go ahead and close our main menu. We know it works. Our third person game mode, we know it works. So make sure we do a save all, make sure everything's good. And again, I thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.